So you guys, I have a friend. So she was talking to me about her childhood and growing up and all of that. So she was telling me how that, like, she had a cousin over for the holidays, and then she come to their room, like guys and girls together, come and tell them how don't allow when boys touch your body, don't allow this, the stuff now, don't allow boys touch your body, don't allow them shift your pants and all of that. So like she grew up with
Why are you all of a sudden
happy?
Well, some of us are familiar with that line, that phrase.
So she grew up thinking, okay, boys should not touch my fine. And then she now went to girls' only school. Unfortunately for her, when she was like in JS2, a girl shifted her pants.
So shit like
Do you
that.
understand?
Wow, for who they wear the pants when they shift.
God, I beg.
So I want to ask you, Tomiwa, do you think that because like they didn't tell her the correct information, do you think first of all she should know about pants shifting? She should, like, at that age, number one. Number two, she eventually knew, but she did not know the correct thing. So would you think it was better for her to find out herself?
I think
and then decide
sex education. Is that what we're talking about?
Exactly.
It's me they ask, but I actually don't want to answer the question, to be honest, because this is woman. Like,
No. Because she used that example of pan does not mean no. What she's saying is sex education in general.
I know, but that particular...
Were you ever told word for word that, Tomiwa, it is not appropriate to have sex with a lady, or it's not appropriate to touch a lady?
They would have told me something like, don't play with... you use like a euphemism.
Joey, how did they teach you about sex education growing up?
Do you know that, funny enough, that I think about it, I don't know that my mom talked about sex.
But like
did they even say anything around like the gray areas? Is it like if a guy touches you, you'll be pregnant?
And it's for good reason.
For my own case, it was not a case of if a guy touches you, what's it called? The moment I knew there was something wrong and I was curious was when they are showing movie on that time we were watching B2S NTA. They will say that once you get to one particular scene, they say, "Oh, yeah, love you." God, cover your eyes. And you be like, "You not do your eyes like that." They should cover your eyes. At times they now say that, okay, when they see that it's a particular movie, say, "Okay, it's time for all of you to go to bed. I will not go behind the chair where my grandfather used to sit. This is his angle. It will definitely show you now crawl. You now be peeping from that place. I'm good. That thing that you don't want to tell me, I want to see it." So I think that though there was never a sex education until probably when I was in secondary school.
Yeah.
Like when you started menstruating.
I remember that day.
Okay, there is a problem. You just see your mother saying.
But funny enough, the first time I saw blood on my like I was confused. Like, what's going on here?
So you had an idea too.
And then my mom now sat me down with the Bible. This now said that now that you're not a woman.
But Toyosi is saying that you should have known long before that. Like when you were like, even
that's what I'm telling you.
See, there are two sides to this.
I've always lived a shielded life, right? So I don't know that knowing or not knowing that made any difference for me.
I think
when you're a curious child, like Ibukun now, she wants to go and see what they are doing. Were you like curious? Did you ask questions?
No,
like, you never.
I just know that. That time when we used to watch film, when everybody's not around, any kissing film, any scene that had like, I will now sit down, now rewind this.
It's the curiosity for me.
So
yeah, actually.
So moving from like sex and all of that, what was your first encounter with a porn video? Like
porn video.
You didn't follow your love or you
Tomiwa, don't lie, yo. Don't lie, yo.
Just say it as it is.
We need to tell people. Don't lie.
It was a small phone. It was my uncle's phone.
I think in every African
home, don't cast.
I think in every African home, there's always a porn CD that
always
nobody ever knows about.
Mine was not a CD. Mine was a
I'm serious.
Mine was not a CD.
My own, it was inside Barbie. So the first time I watched porn by mistake.
Oh, those CDs that they always drop, right?
And
you just
and it was
buy.
inside like all those Barbie, those were like 12 in 1. Like,
yes.
So it was inside that jacket, and then I was like, oh yeah, Barbie and stuff.
Okay.
And then
Barbie style.
Oh my God! Well, I did not see any pornography movie early. However, God bless the boys that went to my secondary school. Oh my God. I just saw that day guys were gathered. I was wondering what was going on. And definitely, as the curious lady that I am known to be, I was just, when you just barge into somebody and like, what is going on? As I said, Jesus, I am a daughter of a deaconess. I was not exposed to all these things. So I was like, what is going on? I didn't even know that was what it's called, but I just knew that they were watching something that had to do with sex. That was my very first encounter, and I think I was in SS2.
Ah.
Yeah, SS2 going to SS3. I was that naive because, see, when you have a triangular life, from church, they will carry you to school, from school to the house. So this is like this. The person that will pick you from your house is already waiting at the gate. They will drop you in school 4 o'clock as it done. So it wasn't like I was not allowed to interact with my schoolmates. I think that's why I was not friends with a lot of people, and I didn't have phone then. So once you are done from class, the car is waiting for you. Enter the car, they carry you to the house. So, from the house, you enter, you do, if you are a Baptist like me, you do Sunbeam, you do GA, you do Lydia. So all those, everything that they are guiding you for, and I think it actually helped me, because honestly, with this compartment that God has blessed me with, if I was exposed, you can see, if I was exposed earlier than I am at the moment, I swear to God. Even the things that we have done, despite the fact that we know God, and that we now understand, we can't say something. Yes. Even the things we have done, despite knowing God, our parents must not know.
Did your shielding help you? You said you were shielded as a child.
Yeah.
Did it help you? Would you have done bad things if you knew earlier?
So, I'll say yes and no, right? I think that me being shielded. So, I grew up in a house of all girls.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, I can't relate.
The pressure will be too much. I don't even want to imagine what that kind of house would be. Yes.
And like my dad wasn't like around that much. It's not like as if maybe I grew up with men.
No.
So it was just my mom and then like the 4 of us. So like I didn't have like that much interaction with men, right? And like I said earlier, I wasn't so curious. But actually when I like got into university, I started like liking boys or whatever.
University?
When did you like your first girlfriend?
No, so I like I like
shielded.
boys. No, I like boys like way before.
Wait,
right?
what kind?
I
what
love
kind
men.
Of, let's be
But
very clear. You like boys in what context? As a friendship level?
I said I love men.
Oh.
But like first serious relationship.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Was in uni?
Yes.
Wow.
And then I noticed that I started
Yes, same
like,
here.
Like I was like feelings that I've never, I was feeling like a kind of way, and like I was now always feeling bad.
Oh, okay.
And like I felt like really.
You say you're
bad
feeling
or
kind of way.
whatever.
What do you mean? Wait, Nancy, wow. This is an 18-year-old. You're over 18 here. When you say you feel kind of way, it's like a feeling
that I've never
feeling that you can't explain.
But like I started having feelings and like feelings, yeah, right? And like it was weird for me, and like every time I had those feelings, like I always like felt bad. And it would have been nice if I like understood what like the
I
concept
can
of
actually
this thing
concur
is.
to you.
And then it would have helped me to,
My very
myself
my
together.
first crush, honestly, my parents, honestly, they punished me because they did not tell me anything that has to do with you. They didn't even teach you what it means that when you are feeling a different way for a guy,
Yeah,
and you always feel for a normal friend that this is what it's called. And I entered SS2. This guy, we have been in school. He knows now, so if I call his name, he will know. We've been in class together since he was in my school since GS1. But I just go to SS2 that day. You know how they do James Bond movie. We're doing movie and all that. So that day, I had exams and I needed pencil for, when you shade, we used to shade that time, ABC, their hair. So I didn't have pencil and they had exhausted pencil. I needed pencil. That's how this handsome boy just came. And I looked, how they do all this action movie. You check the person from the leg to the head. I just saw from the sneakers. Oh my God. From the sneakers to the uniform gator. I just saw the person. It was as if I've never seen that guy before. I dealt with that crush for 2 years till I finished SS3. Oh. Jesus Christ. I could every day my friend would say, did you see the guy today? How did you feel? And you could have that conversation with your parents.
I think so I think what is actually very important is I would agree that it is good to have like this sex conversation or whatever. But I think what is more important is like you being friends, like with your children, or like being friends with your
having
that relationship.
So how early are you talking about? Like you want to have conversation?
7, 8, 9, 10.
Yes. Because honestly, you
Why
go
not?
to primary
what I would like
what
is
children are
honestly
doing
like
now?
What 7-year-olds are doing now?
I'd like my child to come and tell me that I like this.
But
Or I like.
children,
Do you understand?
children in primary
So
school
that
use
like
the word
because
crush.
these things like
You
this
don't
thing
use the
happen.
word
But we
early,
will try to tell you.
understand.
Even, I mean, you might think you're close to your child, but we will
But
try
So
to.
why you are a guy, so you cannot say we ladies understand how this thing works.
Which
I've heard
ladies you that
women-
started in SS2, you university.
But now we
You're
are
telling me
no, I
you
think we
people-
understand
Yeah,
better.
No,
See,
I said
when I got
I
my first
said
experience.
I liked boys way
Tamima
before
wants to say when he got
I don't want to say when I got my first
Tell us
experience.
what is.
My
Tell
mom
us
might be
when you
listening
saw.
to this show.
Hey, no, you are going to face it because
Just think
mommy will
earlier.
not beat you
Think
now.
way
Way
earlier.
earlier.
Way earlier.
Tamima had it
Think
in
far
GS2, right?
Yes, think way earlier.
Wow.
Go back.
So wait, I've heard parents and like people, family just talk about stuff that they experience from their children's school. And you hear somebody say that at primary 2, people are writing love letters. At primary 3. So at this point, I cannot wait till my child is 15 before I expose you.
So
However, I would not take my child to a club at 15, at 16. I won't expose you to cigarettes, but I will let you know all this, and I'm not going to hide anything. I'm not going. If it's sex is called sex. Don't say that when a guy touch you, you'll be pregnant. Who touches you and you get pregnant?
Let's try.
Tell me why I feel.
What you are saying now is that once your child knows early enough, then it eliminates every chance of them being sexually exposed.
You'll be sexually deceived.
Deceived.
Nobody will come and trick you.
They can know and then still choose to expose
I
themselves
think-
sexually.
I think-
It doesn't stop you, but at least it
eh.
means that nobody will fool you.
Toyosi, I
Yeah.
think that if we look at it very well, though our parents didn't tell us about sex in
But
depth,
we knew.
but we found out one way earlier enough. And despite that, I think it's all about family values and what now
Thank
keep
you.
us
I think that
together.
was most
I think
important
family
in this
values, because
conversation.
the way we are trained, like me now, when I was on 300 level, my grandfather told me that if he finds out that if he smells that I have a boyfriend, he will not pay my school fees. I swear.
But did that stop you from having a boyfriend?
No.
And it not he put the fear in me because he could not even smell. No,
It won't
he
make
didn't
any
stop
difference
it.
at the end of the
But
day.
he could not even smell that.
People will do what
a
they
boy
will
is
do.
calling
So
me
let's move away
on
from
the
sex.
phone.
We know that that one is your personal choice and your personal enjoyment, as the case may be. But let's not talk about drugs and social media. Do you think that exposing a
That's a different
child
ball
early
game.
enough to social media would change anything? Or exposing them to, let me say exposing them, but let them knowing about drugs.
I feel it has more harm than social media has more harm than good.
So the
honestly.
question is, how early enough should they know about? Should they be exposed to social media?
My sister, I think it's depending on the when you start. You see, once you know,
You
every
can't
child
stop
is
the-
different.
you can't stop
So
these
I think
things.
you should know the children that you have. But at least like, in your own family, if you have 3 children, when you say that okay, this one is 10 years old, this one is mature,
I
enough,
can't
that's
like-
okay.
One
This
of
one
the
you
things,
what
one
do
of
you
the
call
things that
earlier?
I'm grateful for is that I started drinking early.
That's what she's
How
grateful
early?
for.
Yeah, like 5, 6. So
Ah.
my mom,
That's
like
right.
my mom would she would have bellies, and she would pour
She'll
small
share
for
with
me.
you. Abi. So it didn't freak you whenever you go to parties.
And
Let me tell you what
so
happened to me.
what that did for me is that I realized that
Nothing
I
there.
don't
you
know.
don't need to be drunk.
I was able to learn my system with alcohol, and so there's nothing anybody can tell me in this life. If I am outside my house, I wouldn't drink because I know that it has a certain effect on me. And so I was
So
only
you
drinking.
are studying
I
your.
was feeling like the bad guy in this group before.
I know my.
Somebody started drinking
my
at 5.
aunt, my watch.
They are showing me
No,
like
the person that exposed me to alcohol was my brother-in-law. I've
You're
exposed
putting
you.
somebody in trouble.
It was my
Yeah,
brother-in-law.
yeah.
I started
In
with
case you're
Smirnoff
watching.
Ice. And I started with 2 cans. I swear that day.
That's it.
Yes. It was just sweet and it wasn't bitter.
Okay,
And
okay.
I wasn't feeling anything. So I drank the first one. I think both of us were going to a site. So I drank the first one, it was okay. And then the second one, the knock that I knock. I know that my knock has knock. That cannot be unknocked.
From Smirnoff.
So from Smirnoff.
Yeah,
And that was when I was in 300 level. So you can see that my own
Smirnoff?
exposure, yeah.
Smirnoff,
I drank Smirnoff.
Smirnoff?
Yes. Wait. That was then. I cannot tell you the level I am now. But that was then.
Oh, okay.
That was then. So I can say
I've moved
that
on to greater
I think that when it comes to exposure and social media, I think it's just relative. Because at the end of the day, it's whatever. I just feel that people should not hoard information about things in life, because at this point, there are ways you can curb your children being exposed to unnecessary things online.
Are you sure?
So,
Yes,
I don't-
there are
I don't-
sites that even there's some gadgets that when you get them, you can block them. They don't have access to it.
So for me,
It doesn't
for example,
kill.
For me, for
People
example,
don't
However, they can mingle with some other set of people in school, but whatever will not lead them on is the values
You know,
that
I
is
used to work
installed
on
in
my
them,
mom's
instilled in
phone. They
them.
refused to buy phone for me,
You
so I
don't
know.
use your
My
mom's
mother's
phone.
BlackBerry.
You watch porn and
I'll go, I close it. Delete
Tomiwa, you are being a bad child from
So
your
all this
home.
word of saying
You are being a bad
I'll block one website.
See, my
I will
own
do
was
one.
worse that they gave me phone in SS1. So God who made me. You know that time it was extra cool. I was not doing extra cool. Me, they've used sleep to do me. And I do alarm that I want to be a good student. I want to read overnight. That alarm rang from 2 a.m. It will cut. It will now start 2:30. It will cut. I just got to morning prayer that day. My grandfather said, Ibukun, your phone here. I said, you know when you were shocked, I was just coming for sleep. He now sees the phone. I say, what happened? He said, you have the effrontery to be doing midnight extra cool in my house? Look at me. Me that I say I want to read. It is book I say I want to read. You assume that because he could hear the ringtone from his own room. And that's why they assume that. So I feel that parents sometimes say are too judgmental of their children. And I think whatever you want to let them know now. Whatever the child will do, the child that will spoil. You know, the Bible says that
So it really doesn't matter.
the child that will spoil will
Like,
spoil.
you can as well tell
Honestly,
18,
the child that will
like,
spoil
it doesn't
will
matter.
spoil.
For
I'm
me,
just saying that you can curb the exposure.
It was my 100 level. I think there was one master strike when I was 100 level. So I was very bored at home. I had a phone, and then somebody now was on Twitter. Someone now posted, someone should send links for movies to download. This guy, I'm not going to drop the link. This guy posted the link.
No, after.
I innocently just went to go and because I wanted to download movies. And when I've never seen anything like that in my life, so I was curious. I watched.
So you sat down and watched. You did not get a glimpse.
You know what I then did? I knew that somehow nobody ever told me anything about sex, but I just knew that this is not. I cannot do this thing in public. It was not like I cannot do it on my phone.
It didn't seem right.
So I deleted Twitter.
Right.
I think I blocked my friend. Till
When did you
today,
start
I don't
these
use
things?
Twitter. But that is like nobody ever sat me down to teach me that. In fact, my daddy would tell me that, you can have sex, but make sure that you stick to one person. That's the kind of, but irrespective of the age that people get to know these things. My friend I was talking to you about, eventually now, at the boy or at the girl, everything goes. They taught her when she was young.
I feel that parents curbing things from their children a lot enhance their curiosity the more. And it does not help.
It is scientifically proven.
It does not help.
The countries that try the most to control these urges
Are the ones that they go out of
think about.
proportion.
It's always in Pope Catholic. You're hearing that one Pope did one thing once. Sorry, I'm just saying. It's always in Dubai. They're always doing one kinikon. I'm not.
No, if don't go, the line is too far. Even if you go to Kano, some of the northern states,
So it's those places
if
you
those
try
girls
the
should
hardest.
carry their hijab, the kind of things that they have underneath their clothes.
The harder you try to come this thing,
You
the
will
more
not- you will be
perverted.
shocked.
No, it's
You will
it
be
is proven.
shocked.
So
I'm just saying.
Children about sex as early as 5. Your
No,
children.
now 5 is a bit
No,
young.
5 is
But
not.
it depends.
It's just
At 5,
honestly,
at 5, if you ask me
yeah.
questions, at 5, if you ask me questions, I can answer you.
I think
And I won't tell you something like it's a kokoro. No, it's not kokoro. It's a penis.
Yes, exactly. Those are the little annoying things.
Those are the
How
things.
you say that?
I won't say
your
a man was.
breast,
I won't
they
say
will
he was
tell you
playing
that,
with her. No, they
this
had
your
sex.
clinical,
How do
something,
babies
something.
come?
Once you start menstruation, they will tell you that if a man should just touch you like this.
What is touch you?
Yeah,
What does
pregnant.
touch you mean?
Touch you is that if a man should have sex with you. But you know the funny thing.
Get
You know the
it
funny thing.
out.
But you know the funny thing. Inside the house are the people that harm the people you are trying to protect.
That is actually
Inside the house are the
Like my
people
uncle.
They don't
that
need social
you
media.
harm.
What do your
you are
uncle do?
trying
No,
to
I
protect.
found this phone. I found this phone. That was the first time I saw it.
That was your own doing. No, you were when I went to Baba.
I went to
leave his
play
phone
game
now.
now, not
Hey,
play
now
game
Baba
again.
leave his phone. You went to pick it. So what are you now saying? But I'm saying that it's the people that you are trying to curb these people from. They are inside your house. They are the ones that even expose your children in the first place. No matter, and that's why there's called sex education. There's a way you can come down to the level of the child
children,
and let
yeah.
them know. But I will educate my child enough so that when they pour hot water on your child, you will know that you have done something.
I feel like the dichotomy in
It
my
is
life,
violence.
especially when it comes to drugs and
So
stuff.
this is
with
violence.
sex, I started very.
It looks like
But
a-
drugs, on
Guys,
the other hand,
guys,
it feels like-
there's no problem. This view is the view.
This now my view, and don't forget to subscribe.